Everyone, please stop doing this one thing that lowers your value immediately. Don't just answer whatever people ask you. 99% of people don't realize that this is actually a fatal mistake. You might think you're being polite or honest, but in the eyes of people with bad intentions, you just look naive. Professor Wang Liqun from Lecture Room once said, "Don't answer people's questions, answer their purpose. Only when you see through their true motive can you control the direction of the conversation." Human interaction might look like a simple Q&A on the surface, but it's actually a psychological game. When someone throws a question at you, they usually want more than just the literal answer. If you stay on the surface of the question, it's easy to become passive or even let others lead you by the nose. Most questions in life come with a purpose. Some are testing your boundaries, some are gauging your value, and others are checking to see if you're submissive. If you're a habitual straight answerer, you're essentially handing over your psychological upper hand. For example, in a social setting, someone might ask which neighborhood you live in or what kind of car you drive. You might think it's just small talk, but they are actually mentally profiling your financial status. Once you give specific details, you're placed into a certain social box, and the way that person treats you will change accordingly. From a psychological standpoint, humans naturally love to categorize. We use gathered information to label others to simplify our social judgments. If you don't want to be randomly categorized, stop providing the details that make it easy to label you. You can just smile and say, "I don't live too far," or "The car is just a tool to get me from A to B." This is polite, but it also guards your boundaries. Another example is in the workplace. A colleague or boss might ask how a project is going or what your opinion is of some coworker. This sounds like normal work talk, but they might actually be gathering intel or observing where you stand. If you reveal all your thoughts and details without a filter, that info could be used as a reference later or even used against you. There's a psychological concept called self-disclosure. When a relationship is unequal, disclosing too much too soon puts you in a position of weakness. In these moments, you can keep your answers broad, focus on teamwork and positive progress, and avoid specific criticisms or granular details. So how do you spot the motive behind a question? You can observe it through a few psychological layers. First, look at the relationship and the hierarchy. If the other person is a stranger, a client, a superior, or a potential competitor, their question likely has an agenda. Second, pay attention to non-verbal cues like facial expressions, tone of voice, and body language. If their tone is tense, their eyes are shifting, or they're leaning in a bit too eagerly, they aren't just asking to ask. Finally, predict the consequences of your answer. If your response could be spread around, compared to others, or exploited, stay alert and choose not to give specifics. Of course, there are questions in life you have to respond to. In those cases, mastering a few psychological coping skills is vital. First, use vague responses. When a question gets too personal or asks for a judgment, avoid specific numbers or definitive stances. Use neutral terms like "it's all right," "not bad," or "I'm working on it." This keeps the conversation going without showing your cards. Second, learn the gentle counter question. Toss the ball back into their court to force them to reveal their intent first. For instance, if someone is prying into your business, you could say, "Oh, what made you ask about that all of a sudden?" Make them explain their concern. This gives you more time to judge the situation. Third, focus on the emotion rather than the facts. Sometimes the real goal isn't information, but an emotional response. For example, if a partner complains, "You never spend time with me," instead of explaining how busy work is, respond directly to the feeling. "I've also felt like we haven't had much time lately. Let's do something together this weekend." By doing this, you're meeting their emotional needs instead of arguing over facts. Fourth, pivot the topic skillfully.
If a question makes you uncomfortable, naturally shift the focus to a safer or more public area. If asked about your income, you could say, "The economy is changing so fast lately. Everyone's feeling the pressure. How about you? How have things been on your end?" This shifts the spotlight from you to the general environment, reducing the pressure of being scrutinized. Truly great communicators don't necessarily talk a lot, they answer accurately. You don't need to be slippery or silent, you just need to stay psychologically awake during the conversation. What people ask isn't important, why they are asking is. Once you get into the habit of listening for the intent instead of rushing to give an answer, you'll find yourself much more composed in social interactions. Answering the purpose, not the question. This isn't just a verbal trick, it's a form of psychological self-protection. It allows you to stay independent in complex relationships and keep your balance in a shifting conversation. Starting today, try pausing for 1 second before you answer. Think to yourself, what is it they really want to know?